Hello, folks. Very, very happy New Year in advance for tomorrow. Uh, this session, I thought let me start with our class 06 and throw some light on them. So, that was a video which was like a precursor giving across what happens behind the scenes in terms of how we work with startup founders, at our office kind of stuff. And thank you so much for joining and tuning at this time. This session, I will be taking in a lot of questions, but to kick off and get the thinking juices on, I'm trying to give some insights into what has happened at 100x overall around, and what's like 2021 in review, how small businesses, startups, with big ambitions, right? Startups always have big ambitions, and what I've seen across, what are the views, news. We'll take it through that, kind of one by one, and trying to work across on various, topics. Let me start with a great good note, right? 100x VC portfolio. Uh, 2 days back was on Shark Tank. Manas Madhu, who is the founder, got a deal on Shark Tank, and it was great to see how well Manas performed the and gave the pitch, and won at Shark Tank, right? And that deal was done across. In fact, I mean, just to give you behind the scenes story, Manas was the first startup founder actually who got a deal chronologically on the Shark Tank. He was the first founder who could win across the Shark Tank deal kind of stuff. And this is what Manas' story was like, right? When he pitched across banana chips, very mundane product. Why do you think 100x would invest into that? It was a product which was fascinating. The guy had really worked hard on building a world class product, and literally they sent the samples. We enjoyed it, we invited, and found that energy in Manas in terms of being able to think large enough to build a story which was fascinating, right? And we at 100x, worked hard in terms of building and shaping his business, narrowing down, giving him a focus, and that's what story has been published in your story. You can read that inspiring story by Manas Madhu, the founder, online. I mean, how his Kerala banana chips has been very, very successful. In fact, just to give you one anecdote, as a founder, typically you got your biases. This is how business has been done across and stuff. Great, but coachability is very important. And when we were talking to Manas on how to distribute Kerala banana chips and where the business is mainly coming across, and my colleague Ninad, who is expert in the business side of it and builds the business models very well, uh, he proposed across, do you think it's feasible for you to move to Mumbai? And his answer was snap. Yeah, definitely. I'll move to Mumbai. I want to build the business. And that's where the biggest market was. And it worked for him kind of stuff, and build a complete distribution model. So idea is there are decisions which needs to be taken across, and Manas in one of the cases has been super coachable founder at 100x, and we have worked hard to make the business successful. Read this story. You can Google across and your story about how Kerala banana chips has worked with 100x. Again, coming back to team, this is the lean team which 100x has. We believe we are in people business. We continuously engage with people. On the left side, I've got my colleague Shashank, who is great VC connector, one of the catalysts who would help propel the startup founder in front of various angels, VCs, unparalleled connection. Shobna, she is like the brain who puts the business plan at work across. Great addition to our team recently. Yagnesh, the financial whiz, he helps across, monitor, give direction, helps businesses learn about numbers and why it is important. Lipi, recent addition to 100x team, she has been helping on the number side of it, projections, budgeting, legal compliance. I mean, great addition. I've been leading the ship in terms of working with founder. Uh, Personally, have invested over 150 plus companies as an angel, and now 70 companies in 100x VC. So seen wide variety of transactions, kind of stuff. Vatsal, who is our whiz kid, the CTO at 100x, pushes every startup founder to the next level in terms of their pitching, the tech side of it, and Ninad, the guru, uh, the master who would put things in perspective, give one-liners, and which are amazing insights which he would share across with startup founders, which change the course of their business and uplifts their business to a different level. That's how the 100x team, which is complementing each other. This is one tweet or one post which went really viral, a couple of lakh views on LinkedIn, kind of stuff, and which mentions the essence of entrepreneurship, right? Only thing that matters in building a company is entrepreneurs' courage and commitment to convert that dream possibility into a reality, right? Whether you are IIT, non-IIT, I mean, we at 100x.vc, we have no bias. We invest in startups early, very early. And I've got a couple of examples which I will share across, which we have funded in 2021, and their stories in terms of how they've built their entrepreneurship journey, kind of stuff. So, we are sector agnostic, but we have a focus. We invest only in Indian startups, kind of stuff. So that's where we work across. Our class 7 is open. You can write to us at pitch at 100x.vc. At 100x, we don't talk only about capital. We talk about capital plus education. This is like, capital is now a commodity, right? You throw a stone blindly and possibly you will be able to get capital, but very difficult to get direction, very difficult to get mentoring. uh, you know I have written a blog about saying that why everybody needs to have their Krishna in their life. There's a great story about how Krishna changed the course of Mahabharata without uh, taking any weapon in the hand, because just by mentoring Arjuna and giving the discourse, he could manage across. So idea is mentoring is very, very important. That's the point what I wanted to make across. So we are all about capital plus education. We have a theme about, one is simplified funding, funding simplified, and mentoring unlimited. These are the two uh, clear goals which we have across. Let me start with giving you a, how do you build storytelling, and that is where capital plus education comes at play, right? Most of the time we have seen across startups doing product pitch, and they would say across, okay, I have built 128-bit encryption, which cannot be hacked, and we are from IIT, blah blah blah. And so what? I mean, typically, people pitch product and investors fund business. So the storytelling is very, very important. The narrative, what goes, if you can't communicate, best of the product would not get funded. You will not be able to raise capital, right? So how do you work across in terms of your storytelling is very, very important, right? How do you create definitive goals? How do you share facts? How do you present across? It's very, very important. You may be a great product builder, you possibly know the business in and out, but storytelling is an art which everybody needs to learn if you want to raise venture capital, right? And that is where 100x.vc comes at play. This is one of my personal portfolio which become unicorn. I'm so happy about it. It just grew across. This is my fourth unicorn as a personal investment. And the way I've seen across, and Sumit Gupta, who is a founder, I was the first angel kind of stuff in the angel group which we invested. And what I see and learn across from this unicorn founders, this is the fourth unicorn in my portfolio. Three things which matter. One is hunger for growth, right? Continuous growth, hustle, right? There have been huge legal challenges building a crypto exchange in India, and heads off to Neeraj and Sumit, the way they've built across the whole CoinDCX, amazing. And humility, even after becoming a unicorn, the kind of relationship what Sumit keeps across with the investor is just unparalleled, right? The way he behaves across, right? It takes good amount of personality, and I have what I've seen across is good people become good founders, right? You want to back good people. You want to the good people are definitely great founders, and humility is one characteristic which I would instill across. At 100x, we try to pass this trait and try to tell founders to be as humble as possible as they keep on taking the success steps to the next level. These are a couple of tweets which went a little viral, and I thought let me just share across. One is, I believe there is an upping the game for startup which is going to happen across. Currently, we are looking at unicorn which are 1 billion odd valuations. From 2025, I believe 1 billion fundraise will happen across, and by 2030 we can expect across unicorns which are 1 billion in revenue, right? The status of unicorn will change across significantly as time goes by. And one of the entrepreneurship rules which are there is you can't win by being on sidelines, right? You have to be in the game. You have to get your hands dirty. Losing is part of the game. Rejections will happen across. So many times, I've seen across entrepreneurs saying that, oh, I'm not able to raise capital, VCs are not listening to me, or my ideas get rejected. It is you who have to work across, right? And rejections are going to be part of entrepreneurship. Be in middle and execute across. So these are, a couple of tweets which are saying that, which went little viral and it got good feedback. These are the market news. If you look into it, 2021, it has been the year of unicorn. We have been churning week on week unicorns continuously. It has been great story for India, great story for entrepreneurs who have built the companies. It started with IPOs happening across, right? Zomato started the whole floodgates, and today we have got so many startups which are going IPO. It's just amazing feeling being an startup investor, and seeing all these companies getting funded across, lapped by so many investors, and the way unicorns are happening, it's just the kind of pace which India needed across. I think India has arrived. This decade will be of India, and India's story has just begun, both from an investor side and entrepreneur side. I believe this is the best time to start a company, right? Do a startup. Let me put a perspective to it. Let's say, what is the definition of time for an entrepreneur, right? When people say, okay, I would like to begin entrepreneurship, or I would like to do a entrepreneur, the time or the speed at which entrepreneur, looks at getting a term sheet is very different than a VC giving away. So it feels the definition of a time when you are waiting for a term sheet and money hitting you will always feel slow, right? कि अरे पैसा नहीं आ रहा है. Fast when time moves fast when you get the money and you have to now deliver on the milestone, on the target which you have agreed with investors. That's where time flies fast, kind of stuff. And when you don't have capital and you arrive at zero cash date, and there is no capital left in the bank, and that's where the time becomes very deadly. Time is very short, because when funding happens across, Startup founders celebrate their funding round as success, which remains very short, right? So time definition of for any entrepreneur is very very different, right? And that's where you need to be very very careful as an entrepreneur. There has never been a better time to become an entrepreneur, right? As I was mentioning, across building and doing a startup, this is the best time. Amazing capital inflows, huge amount of adoption which is happening due to the COVID times, where people are buying online, spending online. Adoption, consumer behavior has changed drastically. So this is the best time for a for anybody to become an entrepreneur. Now, this slide, what I wanted to share across was, do not start with ideas, right? Start with problem. What problem you are trying to solve? What is it that you are building which will solve so much problems for the world and give an impact, right? So you need to build across some unique product or service which you can bring to the market. As I mentioned, across investor fund business is not product, right? So you need to create across business around your idea, right? There is a big difference building or having a disruptive product idea versus building a scalable business around it, right? So VCs invest in business, and idea is you should have a passion about your whole idea or thesis, that you should be bouncing to go back, can't sleep, work on that idea. There has to be passion. If you get tired, so let's say tomorrow you say, oh yeah, office jana hai, you have to meet a customer, which means there's no longer a passion, right, with that idea. You are getting tired about solving that thing, solving that problem. The passion is off, kind of stuff. So think across that. If whatever idea you choose, that you would love to build for next 10 years, right, at least. And many times, ideas are, as it is said across, ideas are nobody's monopoly. So good ideas are always common, but what's uncommon with the founder is people who will work hard enough to bring them. So idea is to execute, right, execute well, kind of stuff. So that's where I would say across. Let me take a story of this company called Vitra.ai, which we funded across. It was class 3 company. Amazing set of founders, Satvik, who leads it, kind of stuff. Uh, and Akash, the other co-founder. So Vitra, what it does is it translates the any audio video into 50 odd languages with a click, kind of stuff. And a complete deep tech product what they build across. Amazing outcome which we have seen across. When they came across at 100x, people doubted their capabilities. They don't come from an IIT background, kind of stuff. But at 100x, as I mentioned across, we invest into people. We are in people business, and we found the founders really good to make it happen. And we funded Vitra.ai, and the result was a fund called Inflex or Venture. They invested in Vitra.ai. And as mentioned by Satvik, today India, Vitra.ai is one of the most promising Indian startups, right? And you can see this post done by Satvik on the LinkedIn about how he felt like it was reading top 500 books in every field to acquire knowledge. And best part is you get all in 30 days at 100x.vc, right? So amazing kind of feedbacks what we get across once these startups get inducted into 100x.vc cohort. By the way, just to give you a perspective, if you are first time hearing this about 100x.vc, we invest in cohort, which means we invest in a class model. We take 10 to 20 companies, fund them, work with them, build the whole story with them, and then we have got a VC pitch day on which we share this to the world, saying that these are the companies where we believe are fundable, and that's where I will come across, right? Uh, Another story, right? 100x.vc backed a wafer. Now, Wafer got 3 crores as a seed round, after 100x funding. And this is an idea where we have invested for an idea which target market is US. They started from India, but targeting only US market. So it's not that we don't invest in global companies. We invest in Indians who are running global companies. So that is where I just wanted to make a point about Wafer. Again, let me give you a background of how, Purna, who is the founder of Wafer, it was, great post what he did on LinkedIn was, he applied to 100x and class 5, and they just had an MVP with no paying customer. They were not even sure about getting into 100x, because getting through 100x is tough. And they just in next 6 months the whole story turn around, and they are super excited about what they are building across. We are excited, and amazing set of founder whom we worked across with. These are a couple of other funding news which happened across, uh, you know, uh, for 100x in 2021. One of our class, one, which is in December 2019, they raised around 1.1 million in pre-series A round. So 100x portfolio Nourish, great company building and scaling up. Then we had Beehive raising across 300k from Jitone Angel Network, Let's Venture. Then Asia Robotics raising fresh capital from angels. I mean, I'm just sharing this couple of investment stories to give you how diverse companies Underx looks at, and how funding stories happen across. This is like giving a stamp of approval saying that these are like all fundable ideas. I ran across almost four venture investing master classes, two with Thai, one with Vicky, one independently. And this venture investing master classes was training a lot of the emerging angels, or new angels, on how to select and invest in startups, right? And this has been a gratifying journey working with so many of the, almost now I think I would have trained across more than 500 odd angels on how to invest in startups. And for me also it becomes very learning the kind of feedback what I get across diverse views from all these angel investors who would like to give their perspective and expertise to startup founders. Another funding story, edtech platform Blue Learn. I mean, typically when I remember across this startup, they when they came to apply, in our earlier batch, we had rejected, and Harish and Shreyans, they took the feedback and they came back and reapplied. This are BITS Pilani graduate, and the BITS graduate, and they are reapplied, and there it was. So there is never a permanent no at 100x, right? The story here is you keep working, building your startup, and work across. This is Inspira, one of the very interesting story. Surprisingly, they had great revenues, but edtech, so many deals happening, people were not so keen to put in edtech. They raised little later, but they could raise money because they were consistent performer. They build customers, they had revenue, and great story from Kerala coming across again. A great set of founders who got funded. One learning which I would like to share across, right? As an entrepreneur, you should control two things. One, patience. When you get rejected, as I mentioned across, rejections are part of entrepreneurship. And secondly, attitude when you get funded. When people get funded, the many times I've seen across founders lose that humility and suddenly feel that they've arrived across. And mind where funding is not equal to success. You have to build the story, and you need support from everyone. So attitude when you get funded, and patience when you get rejected. These are the two learnings which I'd like to share across. Another tweet which resonated well, and I would like to say share my sentiments is many times, founders apply, work across, and they would say, okay, let's go out and raise money. But the speed of decision taking, I've seen across even within our portfolio, we have to give enough confidence to our founders, saying that, oh, suddenly there is flurry of investor interest, and they get scared and nervous about, किससे पैसा लेना, किससे नहीं लेना, should I take money, should I take, only up till a particular level, okay, 1 crore ले लेते, बाद में will raise at a better valuation. There are many things which goes into their mind, and they are scared and nervous. We help them, so a lot of time entrepreneurs ask me, आप capital के सिवा क्या देते हैं? What is besides capital? I say confidence. What we give you is confidence to take decisions, right? And take decisions quickly. So what I want to share across is, take a leap of faith, believe in yourself. Anyone who has jumped in life has never seen back bad, right? So move forward beyond fear, and you will, or else you will be stuck in that position for life. So take decision and move forward. One of our another class one companies, right? Carnival and Data Sutram. Carnival in 2019 had raised the first round, but they were very resilient, bootstrapped themselves, built it across, and they raised their first round in 2021. Whereas, in comparison, Data Sutram went across to raise multiple rounds. In fact, they're closing their third round of funding now. And amazing set of, so every startup has its own journey and way of growing across. And we work at 100x.vc continuously closely with these founders to help them at every funding round and their milestones when they achieve across. One of the things when we work very closely with startup founder is in terms of how to use capital, right? It these founders are young, they've never built a business, they are first time founders, so they need help across in terms of what are the do's and don'ts in terms of capital spending. We believe it can be learned, so we help them with following 5 data points. One is outsource accounting, so get somebody to tab on your spendings, monitor fixed and variable expenses, track zero cash date. It is very important, and this you will hear me talking again and again, saying that, you, because as a startup you will burn before you earn, so you need to track your zero cash date. Plan cash flow MIS with investors, so you work with investors and continuously work on cash flow and MIS. And being frugal is smart. How to be frugal is very, very important kind of stuff. Another two companies of ours, great stories which they are building across. Burncal, a fitness company, very, I mean, optically, if I look at that team, very unique team which they have built across. I love their energy, the way they are building across the whole story in the fitness space. I just, I mean, when we invested, we just looked at the team and loved the kind of energy what they had and how they were, building their story on the fitness side. There was not even a product which we could look at or release. It was just on the founders looking at the team. We just loved the whole optics and the energy and the mission what they had. Cora Health, oh, amazing company, right? The way Snigdha and Srijit, ex-Flipkart founder, built the health vertical. The speed at which they are building the company is just unparalleled. And then this is what we would like to see in any startup, right? The growth, the amazing story which can be built across with capital, right? And they have used capital so efficiently, and complete hockey stick growth which they have great ideas. They continuously come up with various opportunities, and I mean, I just love the kind of growth what they've shown across in their subscriber consumers, a complete focused health vertical marketplace for buying food products in the health side. uh, these are another two tweets which I would like to share with you. Rejection should not bother, as I mentioned across. If it's wrong, it has no weight. That's all right. I mean, things go, shit happens across, and things go wrong. Kind of. If it's right, it's better to know and prepare. Either way, you need to keep moving forward, right? And another part is always what I tell entrepreneurs is say thanks, be humble, share gratitude, right? Carpet bombing of thank you, right? How often you are complimenting? If you compliment, right, there is a sense of gratitude, there is sense of happiness which is there. So do show a pleasure, right, or at a job well done, be it across your employee, be it across your partner, customers. Thank you is a way to share credit, right, and remark, give a glowing remark to people who helped across. So be a happy entrepreneur, be humble as much as possible. All these stories were to bring it to this point that 100x winning edge, right? A social proof. 100x has, read this article, I would recommend how 100x create a social proof for seed stage entrepreneurs and drive deal flow for larger funds. So 100x is a discovery platform. After 100x, a lot of investors would like to put money into these companies, build larger round, be it VCs, family office, angel groups, right? So you can view this 100x as like an finishing school, like an Ivy school, where a lot of talented entrepreneurs want to apply for getting their winning edge. Now, let me give you a story, like what do I mean across, kind of winning edge. You've seen the horse race, right? Typically, if you see there will be 10, 15 horses which would be running the race, and everybody is working hard, but typically the winner which takes away the derby, the winning prize, that horse is winning by a nose, right? And that winning edge gives you the unparalleled success. Now, it is not that the other horses ran less fast, or the horse which was winner was 10x, 20x, 50x faster, but the prizes, the success, the story which tells across saying that this was the winner, it has got unfair success, which means they've got 10x, 20x, 50x the price than the horses. So how do you win that or get that winning edge is where 100x comes at play, right? So all our startups, we work at their winning edge. Just to give you a perspective, it's very difficult to get into 100x, and that's where it's like an Ivy school, less than 1% success. So that's the statistics of our class 06 batch, right? We had 2285 application. We worked hard, evaluated with multiple rounds of pitching, 356, and 10 startups got funded and mentored, right? Less than 1% success. So it's not easy to get into 100x, but once you are there, all the success, right? This is like the finishing school which every entrepreneur would like to get into. You got, as I mentioned, mentoring unlimited mentoring. What do we give across, right? While lot of guidance is there, we have a ready rector of information, 100 plus questions to prepare before VC meeting. And this we publish across, we share all our data points on various social media. Go and read this blog on 100x, I mean, LinkedIn profile, mine. Your 100 plus question bank in terms of how VCs would ask question, how do you prepare for answers before the VC meeting, and that's where we work very closely with all the startup entrepreneurs. In 2021, we launched Entrepreneurship Gurukul. That's a not-for-profit initiative where, without equity, without funding, just training, giving all the knowledge, sharing to people. So we launched class two of cohort two of Entrepreneurship Gurukul. So join across the class three. Now we have finished the two, cohort one, cohort two, and now we are at cohort three. Then 100x does across founders dating event. This is again a not-for-profit initiative where we help founders dating, get a co-founder, right? Building a startup single founder, it's tough, difficult to build across. Now, how do you get founders dating, kind of stuff? So that finding the right founders. We started with a corporate venture capital service. We believe corporates are looking out to work very closely with startups and how do you engage across. So we work with a lot of corporates, helping them source across the right strategic fit where they work across with startup for their corporate innovation and disruptions, and startups get benefit working with the large corporate. So this is, we believe, is going to grow in future. This is one of the teams which we believe has got a great opportunity. They were just young students, right? And when we funded across, they 100x Zupe team has been, they work on teen investing, and we met the teen investing, so young founders. When we met Anubhav and Arpit, it was amazing feeling, seeing them, young kids, and I just enjoy their energy, the way they think about the problem idea, and they worked across. And we wish them a lot of luck and all the best in terms of the way they are growing across. A young team building a great startup called Zupe in teen investing space. I believe, as a startup founder, this is what you need to think across. One day there will be stories written about your breakthrough idea, yeah, your success, how it changed, and till then, keep going, build a legacy, become a legend. That's what I would like to share across. Closing notes. Let me share an end philosophy, right? Ants never quit, right? They keep working. If you stop an ant, they will go somewhere, they will climb under, they will find a way, right? They will keep finding a way. Ants never quit, and that's what I would like to leave startup founder, like, have perseverance, right? Don't quit. Next, ants think winter all summer, right? So they keep on collecting food that will last for them in the winter, because winters typically they can't go out like summer. And as you need to think across about collecting capital, raising capital, or focus and think ahead in terms of saying that, how do you manage across your fundraising. And think summer all winter, which is like when they are in winter, they think across summer, which means saying that this they have got hope, saying that the bad times don't last, sun will soon be out, and they will die back and come out on the first warm day. So there is always an hope and optimism which you need to get across. All that you possibly can. That's all about saying that be well capitalized, be hungry, right? How much will ant gather during the summer? All that possibly it can, right? So as an startup founder, you need to have continuous sale. Oh, itna sale ho gaya abhi, let's stop and enjoy. Kind of. That's not how it works across. Right? You need to be hungry, continuously have growth, and get raise capital. Continuous capital raising is going to be required. So summary for startup entrepreneurs: never give up. Perseverance is the way to go. Look ahead. Always plan that zero cash date. Continuously manage your finances. Stay positive. Hope is a strength, right? Be optimistic, kind of, and do all you can. Be hungry. Don't be encumbered by history. Just go out and do something wonderful. Build something what people want across. In case if you are looking to raise funding, write to us at pitch@100x.vc. Class 07 is open. And I am now open to take questions if you have got any. Let's see if there are questions coming across. Let's see where questions are. What's happening? Do we have any questions to work across? So let's see. Let me see. Please drop your questions in the chat. And let me see if I can bring some questions here. Okay, let me see. Santosh is putting, can we apply if we got a rejected to 100x we see earlier. Definitely, Santosh, as I mentioned, there is never a permanent no. Keep us posted with your new ideas, new working, and we'll be happy to look at you. Great. Look forward to your pitch, Santosh, and good luck. Kind of. Aditya, your wishes are welcome. Thank you for the wishes. So, Akil, for social media app, it's very tough to show revenue generated traction in early startup, and therefore, which stage, even if you are at early stage, we are happy to. We invested in a company called Noobel, which is into podcast social media. So we are agnostic. We are not looking out for traction. Definitely, if you have a traction, it makes more sense. But irrespective, we'll be happy to fund across. Do write to us. Uh, okay, let me see which are other questions. Anybody who has uh, apply for Gurukul, right? That's how you can apply across to Gurukul in case if you want learning. So this is a question saying that till when the Amar has asked across, till when class 07 in the open. It's on rolling basis. So we keep on building classes so you can add across your pitch, keep sending across. Once we hit across anywhere between 10 to 20 startups and the batch is full, and then we close across and class 8 is open across. So it's an ongoing program once you apply. So Amol Gadge, no, we fund across, as I mentioned in my first slide. We are sector agnostic. We invest in all possible startups. So it's okay if you're not a non-tech startups. Uh, Prakash, what one should do to raise pre-series A round or revenue generating company for a revenue? Go across, meet and pitch, show traction to the investors. If you are revenue generating company, I'm sure there would be an attractive case to make across. uh, if you are if you are competing against any 100x portfolio, we will avoid that unless there is a specific difference to what you are building across. Anybody else has any questions? Happy to look at it. uh, I think so I've covered. Oh, there's one question. Naina, if you have vendors, customers, but MVP not ready for all, just apply, see your idea. If you have got a clarity, we have funded idea stage also pre-revenue. So happy to look at your pitch. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and wish you all a great, happy New Year 2022. Look forward to working with all of you entrepreneurs, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you.